Okay, so here's what we got today. I want to go through multiplication, division one more time. Once you feel comfortable with that, we're going to maybe, my goal is to do about 2 or 3 examples of each type. That way you can at least see, I'm going to leave them on the board so you can kind of use them as reference if you don't know kind of what you're doing. It's basically 2 halves. The first half of the page is all multiplying. The second half of the page is all division. So that way, when you look up here, you'll at least be able to see each type. Okay? So let me do the first example here. I'm going to put this in black. I don't know if you guys can see that from over there. It might have a weird glare. For the first one, if you're going to multiply fractions, like 3 over 4, and we're going to take it times 8 over, let's go 8 over 10. Yeah, just kind of easy numbers. I'm picking very small numbers today. Nothing like too big, I think. I don't even know if there's a 2-digit number on the worksheet. So like the number should be super, super easy. The trick is, the first thing I always look at, is it multiplication? Well, in this case, yes it is for sure. So, the next thing I want to do is break up the numbers. You can do this once it's multiplication. Don't do it when it's division. So when it's multiplication, I want to break up these numbers and the numbers I know multiply to give me them. So like the number 3, I can't break it up. It's just 3 itself. It's just 3 and 1. But what about the number 4?
2 and 2.
2 and 2. Okay? Just do this first. Like break up the numbers and numbers you know multiply other than 1 in the number itself. What about 8?
2 and 4.
2 and 4. Okay, we'll break up that even further here in a minute. And 10?
2 and 5.
2 and 5. All right. Get the idea, right? Simple, easy numbers. Like there's not going to be a big number on that worksheet. Now, the number 4 can go further. The number 4 can be broken up to 2 and 2. So I'm going to try to break up these numbers as far as I can. So I'm going to break that up to be 2 and 2 again. Okay, now once I'm at this point where I know I can't break up any of these numbers any further, I've done everything I possibly can, and you know it's multiplication, now you can start crossing things out. Top and bottom first, and then go diagonally second. So like top and bottom, when I look at this problem, these 2's are gone. I know that for sure, top and bottom. Over here, nothing. But now I can go diagonally. So diagonally, nothing here. There's a 3 and a 5, can't do anything with that. But this direction, I can go the 2's. So one number for one number, that's how it works. And then when you're done, you just multiply straight across, and what do I get? On the top?
3.
3 over 5. Boom, there's your answer. Like that's the simplified version. Now again, you have like 8 of these on the front page, and I'm not joking, I think the biggest number I saw on the first page was 8. That was like the biggest number you had, so they're like super small numbers. Because I just want you getting used to like the concept, right? You don't need to do complicated problems when you just show me that you know the concept behind it. Now, next one. Let's go with, I'm going to go with some negative numbers now. So next one, let's go with like negative 4 over 7, and we're going to multiply by 14 over 24. Kind of pick some different numbers now. Now, obviously, these are way bigger than the ones I gave you, but it gives you an idea, right? It's a multiplication problem. So the first thing I look for is definitely multiplying, so I can start breaking out numbers. What about the number 4?
-2.
Okay, good. So I'm going to leave the negative sign out front. I don't really care about it, but I heard it was 2 and 2. Okay, I'm going to leave that alone. What about 7?
Nope.
Nope, nothing, right? 7 is just 1 and 7. I'm going to leave that alone. What about 14?
2 and 7.
2 and 7. All right. And 24.
3 and 8.
Oh, okay. We're going to go 3 and 8. Because we got options, right? We could go 2 and 12, 4 and 6. We'll go 3 and 8. I like 3 and 8. Okay, does that make sense so far? Break up numbers. Now, the next thing I would do is take the 8, because when I look at all those numbers, 8 can go further, right? We did 8 earlier, right? It was up here. We did 8, we can break that up to 2 and 4. So I'm going to do that further. So 8 can go to 2 and 4. And then I can break up the 4 even further to be 2 and 2. There you go. So that's breaking up all the numbers as far as I can go. At this point, now I can start crossing them out. Top and bottom first, then go diagonally. Right, so top and bottom, on this particular problem, I have 2's. Over here, nothing. Now I'm going to go diagonally. So diagonally this direction, I have 2's, I have another 2, and I have what, 7's? Go diagonally.
1 over 3.
Good, now, yep. So now the last step is, since there's no number on the top, you're absolutely right, it's a 1. On the bottom there is a 3, and it's negative. Now how I know it's negative? You have one negative sign. So on multiplying, if there's a negative, it stays negative. It doesn't matter what the answer is. If there's two negatives, they cancel each other out. That's just how it works. Does that make sense how I go like up and down and diagonals? Simple numbers. Like I picked probably bigger numbers than you're going to be seeing today. All right. So that was the first 2 examples. That, no joke, that's the first page you're going to have. Break them up, cross them out, move on. You don't have to worry about positive negative signs in the end. Okay, questions at all though? Pretty straightforward. I'm going to leave those on the board. It's nice to see that. You can see what to do. Second page that you have, now we're going to be doing on this page is division. So, example, let's go with like, I'm going to make up, let's go 3.5, and we're going to divide by, let's go 4 or 6. Kind of go just different numbers. Now, I made this problem a little bit more challenging than it needs to be because I throw a mixed number in there, but I just want you to get used to this. When I start the problem, what I would do first, if you have mixed numbers, like that one, that mixed number, that 3.5, change that to an improper fraction, then just do the normal math I'm about to do. Now, these problems could have had mixed numbers as well, like the 3.5. I would change them to be an improper, and then I would just do the stuff right there. Okay? So for 3.5, here's the trick that I do. I multiply the big number times the bottom, so that's 6, and you add the top. So 6 plus 1 is 7, and I put it over the 2. The 2 is on the bottom of that particular problem, because it has a 2 on it. But again, 3 times the bottom, add the top. Over here, I have the 4 over 6. Questions on the setup, how I start this problem? Either way, even if it was this problem, I would do the same stuff. Now, what we talked about yesterday was when you divide fractions, we change it. You change it to actually multiplication. We actually cheat the system. You don't actually divide fractions, which is really weird. We don't have a process for it. So what you do is you change this to multiplication to cheat it, and then you flip the second fraction over, the one that comes after.
Why don't you just cross multiply?
You're not allowed to cross multiply because cross multiplying is when you do products or proportions, and they have to have an equal sign. So yeah, so there's a weird kind of random rule that when it's a division sign, you have to do a reciprocal to it, right? Where you have to flip it over again. It's called a reciprocal. But yeah, what you're thinking of is a proportion. You cross multiply instead of equal. On this one, I'm going to leave the 7 over 2. So again, just notice, only the thing after the after the division sign flipped. Not the front one, just the back one did. And now, once you have it to multiplication, now you're doing these problems again. It's seriously just a normal multiplication problem now. You break up the numbers if you can, and you start crossing things out top, bottom, and see what you're left with. That's how it works. I'm not guaranteeing every problem has a mixed number. It's not. I just threw that in random. But once you're in division, change it to multiplication, flip the second fraction over, and then start. So at this point, here's where I'm at. Okay, this is where I'm at. This is just a problem we just did over here. It's the same thing now. I would just finish this problem out. The 7, I can't break that up. So I'm going to leave that 7. I'm going to leave the 2 on the bottom because I can't do anything with that. What about 6?
2 and 3.
2 and 3. What about 4?
2 and 2.
Okay. So notice, once it's at multiplication, then I just do the normal rules that I'm always used to. Break them up, cross things out up and down. So on this particular problem, the 2's right here cancel out. Diagonally, nothing. So I'm done at where I'm sitting. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight across. 7 times 3. 7 and 3? Not 12. 21. 2 times 2? 4. There's your answer. Like that's seriously the answer, right? You just go straight across. After you cross things out. Now I know that's a weird improper, I understand that. But that's the rule, right? You're just multiplying straight across into fractions. Once you canceled everything that you can, up and down diagonally, right? Now 4 over 21, technically, I think 4 can go into 21 5 times with 1 left over. This is like the answer. I'll accept the improper, like I'm fine with that. It's just that if you wanna know how to change that back, I'm just thinking about how many times I can go fours, like how many full pans of fours are in there. That's what I'm thinking of. How many full pans of fours are in here? And there was one left over, right? Because this made 21 if I was using just pans of fours. And then why I use pans of fours? Because there was a 4 on the bottom. Okay, questions at all about our process here? I'm gonna leave that on the board. I think it's important that you get to see a division problem. Now, not every problem's gonna have a mixed number, I just threw that in there. Usually what they start you at is like something like this. Just flip it, and then just do your normal multiplying stuff, and you cancel stuff out. Okay, here's your homework today. It's a worksheet. It's actually less than what I was expecting. Even on division, one negative sign, it's still negative, you know, that type of thing. Just be careful on the back. On the back, those are division, on the front's multiplication. So just be careful of that. Put your name on it. It's gonna be due on Thursday, so you got a couple days to work on it. You have a ton of time today. You have about 20-some minutes, almost 30 minutes to kind of work on this day. You can move around the room, you can sit with other people. I just put you in your group today. I'll have a new signature tomorrow, so you don't feel like you're stuck in the same spot every day. Okay, put your name on it, don't forget that. Shusha, did you get one of these? Okay, cool. Maddie, here you go. Perfect. Everyone else got one? Maybe got one? Excellent. Now remember, we're going to have a checkpoint this Friday, or this Thursday, that's a couple days from now. We'll start reviewing for it tomorrow. And then next week, I kind of warned you this, next Tuesday, we have a full-fledged chapter test. It's one of our first major chapter tests over chapter 1.
So smart.